you would have to have 104 classes to become a solid elite. Because not all of that volume, right? Not all of that volume, that 143.75 OV, that's not all volume from just LRP, it's also from kids. Are you following me? You'd have to have 103 classes, my friends, 104 classes to become solid elite LRP volume. Is that overwhelming? Yes. Most people never do that, right? And the reason why you're here in the class is because you're an anomaly. You actually did it better than this. You ended up finding somebody that would share more than one, or do more than one class, or do multiple classes. You had an anomaly, but we can't build a duplication model off of an anomaly. And this is what happens to most people. So if you went to your husband and you said, you know, I have this new business idea, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to talk to 30 people, invite 10, 3 people will attend a class, 1 person will purchase. I'm going to make $20. And if I do that 103 times, 104 times, I can become an elite and make, on average from an elite, I don't know, make about $300 to $500 a month. That's my business plan. Oh, and by the way, this doesn't even include all the samples that you give all those people. And if you want to see a crazy number, what's 104 classes times 30 people each that you need to talk to?
3,000.
It's crazy, right? It's like 3,000 people. Most of the time you just go back to the same ones, right? Is this a system you want to duplicate?
No.
That's what you've been doing. And that's what you've been teaching your leaders. And are you surprised they're not being successful?
Actually, it's...
So from today on, from this moment on, I want you to know that when you look into somebody's eyes and you simply say to them, yeah, I would love to do this business with you. And let me show you how to do it. And you say, just call a couple friends and go do a class in 2 days. You are lying to them because you know better now. Does this make sense?
Yes.
You're lying to them. You're literally setting them up for failure. And you're setting them up to have, and if you happen to be an anomaly and you happen to be able to do this, that's great for you. That's great for your residual income. Hooray for you. But guess what? Do you know why I don't stop right now? I don't ever have to make money for the rest of my life. My husband, he comes from a refugee family. Do you know that we live in the same house that we bought? We've never bought a new house since we've been in doTERRA. Do you know that I've never purchased a business ticket on an airline? I still sit in the back seat, right? I walk past the business people going, I wonder what that would be like. That just seems nice. I don't know, they feed you grapes up here or something. My husband believes, and I'm grateful I'm married to him, that there's a big difference between needs and wants. We made a decision a long, long time ago that if we were ever blessed with a lot of finances, that we would give it almost all back. And it's been the greatest blessing of my life to be in that position. The greatest blessing of my life, besides my kids and my marriage. Now, I want to tell you this. Just because you've hit the rank that you're at, I think it's super selfish. I think it's super selfish to be like, you know what? I'm sitting good. I'm sitting pretty. I'm exactly where I'm at. I'm sipping drinks on the beach. But those leaders that came, Kirk Hamilton and Dave Miller, those people that came and they believed in me at the very beginning and sacrificed and worked, don't they need to hit their dreams too? Not just me. Not just me. Right? Like they're the ones that are creating this residual income for me. So don't you think it's a little selfish for us to be like, hey, I'm good. I'm here. You gotta set them up for success. Like when you look at their eyes and you say, when I look at Melanie's eyes and I say, Melanie, oh, I'm gonna get you there. Sometimes I went so far in the beginning, I'm like, you know what? I'll go to hell before you're not successful, and I'm not planning on going to hell. Patrick's like, don't ever say that again, all right? The old system where you don't prep doesn't work.
Amen.
This takes forever. You talk about a waste of time and a waste of energy and a waste of money. Sitting at Elite for years, is it not frustrating? Recreating volume, is it not frustrating? It's so frustrating. Can I show you a better way? Can I show you a better system? Let's go. Ready? Here we go. This is the effective way. And yes, do you do a few more contacts? Absolutely. Do you make a few more calls? Absolutely, but it looks like this. You have to talk, these are the numbers. You have to talk to about 20 people, not 30, but it's not 10, right? About 20. 10 people are invited to the class. If you follow the system correctly, if you do all the contacts, and if you're working off a list with your most highest rated people, 10 people come to the class, 10 people are invited, 8 people come to the class and watch. 6 people enroll. Not all 8, but 6. I might be able to get 8, and you might be able to get 8, but the average, we're talking averages now. Averages is 6 when they follow it. Why is it that high? Because they already came to purchase. They were already set up to purchase. They were planning on buying when they came. Do you understand? You've already put the time in before they show up. 6 people buy, sorry, it's the same kit that they purchased, that's the average. It's still 100 OV. Total of 600 OV, you make $120 off of that class. That's not bad, right? Your husband walks away, he watches the kids, or you walk away, whatever, if you're the guy building it. Next, 3 out of those 6 people get on LRP when you do it correctly. You set up the wellness consult correctly, you walk through the wellness consult in a really, really positive, good way, and by the way, you invite them to continuing education where they always constantly bring up the wellness consult in every single situation. 3 of them eventually get on LRP. 3 of them, and the average LRP is still the same, 100 OV. So you have a total LRP of 300. 300 for that one class is your total LRP. Do you see how big of a difference that is? Next. Ooh, it's not moving forward. Oh, I'm pushing the star button, that's why. One person becomes a sharer or a builder to total, and that one person, if they do the exact same thing that you did, meaning if they have the exact same class, talked to 20, invited 10, 8 people came, 6 showed up, 3 people enrolled with 100 OV, and 1 becomes a share. How much volume will they bring in? 900, the same that you just did. 6 people enroll with 100, so that's 6, and 300 get on LRP, that's 900. Next. The total volume from one class is 1,800 OV. Now hold on, that 1,800 is total OV, right? That's not just LRP and not just kit purchases, but with just LRP purchases, watch this. Solid Elite 3,000 OV in LRP volume in 5 classes. 5. It's the difference between 104 and 5. Now you tell me what's most effective for your time.
5 classes. 104 classes versus 5
Right?
classes.
Why do you think I've had so few signups? Why do you think I don't have to be an enrolling machine? I follow the system. I look for the right people. I put my prep into the people. I do it correctly. And we go elite very quickly. Are you clear?
Yes.
Is it time to change?
Yes.
It's time to change. All right? Is this exciting? Is this depressing? Is it kind of depressing? No. For some of you are like, no, it's exciting, right? So this is pretty obvious. We just talked about this, but I love it when people say, you know, it's really too much time. I just think it's too much time for me to do all that stuff that you talked about before. I'm like, okay, let's talk about time. Let's get really clear on time. And I'm going to take it off of just numbers across the board that have been proven out. And there's no comparison, is there not? There's no comparison. So,
7.
check this out.
It's not 6.
If you can go solid elite in 5 classes, watch. And someone wants to become a silver, they have 3 builders and they do it correctly. All 3 builders, if they have 5 classes, what are they? Sorry, did I say that weird? You want to become a silver, you have 3 leaders, they all have 5 classes, what do you become? A silver. Oh my goodness, if you want to become a platinum, right? And you have 9 people that you train effectively, and they all have a minimum of 5 classes, what do you become? A platinum. Oh my goodness. If you wanted to be a diamond, and you were able to find 12 people in an elite position, and we're going to show you next week how to find these people, right? And they all had 5 classes, and they did it the right way. What do you become? If you want to be a presidential diamond and make $1.3 million a year on average, just one presidential diamond, right? $1.3 million a year on average. That would pay the bills, wouldn't it? Yeah. $1.3 million a year on average, and you were able over a few year period of time to find 54 people that could go elite, that were trained properly. They all had 5 grade classes. You become a presidential diamond making $1.3 million a year. This is not rocket science, my friends. All it is cookie cutter. You learn something once and you do it over and over and over and over and over again, and there you go. That's it. Yeah. So when I look at Melanie and I think, well, you want to become a presidential diamond? It's not difficult. It just takes a lot of work. It's the same thing over and over and over again. Why change it up? Would you? Why change it up? It's the same thing. So when somebody says, oh my gosh, Allyse, how do you say that you could become presidential in any country in 12 months? I'm like, well, I go elite, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second myself. Then I find 3 people that will go elite, and I become silver. And then they find 3 people that go elite, and I become platinum, and you just build like that. And then within 12-month period of time, I know exactly how to lay it out, and I know how to find them. They become a presidential diamond. So when someone comes to me and says, can you show me how to become a presidential diamond? I'm like, absolutely, like the back of my hand. You just have to be willing to do the work. So after tomorrow night, it's not a question of what you know and what you don't know. It's a question of if you're willing to do the work. Right? So let's start with the very first building block of how to make this happen. I'm still excited. Are you still excited? I'm still talking up here on stage, okay? You guys can give me some energy, right? Let's do